Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt, and today we're going to talk about hay. One of the primary things that we grow here on the farm is hay. Hay helps keep our horses fed during our cold winter months when the grass doesn't grow, but hay is also a commodity. We sell some of our excess hay to help offset the costs associated with harvesting, baling, and storing it. We had 2 cuttings of hay this past year on the farm, and the spring cutting was impacted by weather. We were pushing to get the hay up before rains came. That hay, as you can see here, was baled into round bales to help feed cattle. The fall cutting was baled into square bales for use with our horses. So hang tight as we take you through a little of what goes into growing and harvesting hay here at H&B Farms. Thanks for watching. We have about 50 to 60 acres in active hay production currently. The rest of our property is in timber. In the Piedmont region of North Carolina, it's typical to see 2 cuttings of hay per growing season. The land that we have in production now used to be part of a land application program, and that's where some of the byproducts of the wastewater treatment process, aka sewage water, is applied to the land as a type of fertilizer. Lime was also being applied to help keep the pH of the soil at a reasonable level. This type of land application is extremely common in very rural areas. Some of the other land applications include chicken litter, manure, hog waste, and byproducts from fisheries industries near the coast. However, about 4 years ago, I asked the gentleman who was harvesting hay here for his cattle, we asked that the land application stop, and in return, I agreed that we would monitor the soil conditions and apply conventional fertilizer and lime as needed. So I'm going to take you now to the fall, to our second cutting, and I'm going to show you, this is a pretty good overview of the property that we have in hay production. Gives you an indication of what has been laid down. That's the lighter colored grass that's out there in this imagery. And you can see that the gentleman who helps us with the hay production, he has his workers out here that are starting to ted the hay. So they're fluffing the hay up. They're exposing the hay that's been underneath other layers of hay to the sunshine. There is something to that old saying, make hay while the sun shines, because the sun gets in there, it helps to reduce the moisture content, which is optimal for us. Horses and hay, that has to be well-maintained hay. It can't be damp, can't be moisture in the hay. Or horses can't handle it, they can get sick. So you can see that the gentleman here is out there fluffing up the hay, getting it ready, letting it be exposed to air and sunlight so that it can reduce its moisture content even further. And he's going to go around and hit everything that has been laid down. He's going to fluff that up. And in this particular case, it was very, very hot. It was very dry, and the hay that was being tedded was drying very quickly. So they could come back real soon after this and go ahead and start doing what we call windrows and then baling. We'll have some footage of that here shortly. As we mentioned, we're placing the hay into windrows. A windrow is just a larger pile to give a target for the baler to hit as it comes through. Here you can see the baler is attached to the tractor. The baler rakes the windrowed hay up into the baler. There's a plunger, and you can see the plunger in the video that pushes that hay into a cube where it's automatically tied and then pushed out to the rear to the accumulator. This particular setup has an accumulator behind the tractor and the baler, and it does just that. It accumulates the hay, stacks it neatly. Once 10 bales have been accumulated in the accumulator, it drops it into a neat stack out on the ground. One of the coolest things I think about this hay setup is the accumulator attachment on the skid steer. The accumulator attachment makes it so that when the hay baler accumulator drops the cube of 10 bales, the gentleman that is driving the skid steer can come up with the accumulator attachment, grab right a hold of those 10 bales without having to do any manual labor, and can pick it up and stack it on the truck almost without having to touch anything. A great savings of labor. Once all of the hay has been stacked on the truck, we take it back over to our hay storage barn where we have some pallets laid down. The skid steer follows along, and it's able to take the hay right off the truck in cubes of 10 and bring it in and stack it on our pallets again without having a whole lot of manual labor involved. It's a huge time savings, huge labor savings. We can do this with just 2 or 3 people out on the farm, somebody to drive the truck, somebody to drive the skid steer, and somebody baling, and we can get it done fairly quickly. We picked up over 900 bales of hay in this particular cutting and had them stacked and stored within 24 hours. So this is just a look at what we do here on the farm to provide hay for our animals and hay as a commodity to sell. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you liked our content, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. We do appreciate that. That helps us out a whole lot. And until next time, we'll see you around.